I'm Mo Rocca, and I'm excited to announce Season 4 of my podcast, Mobituaries. I've got a whole new bunch of stories to share with you about the most fascinating people and things who are no longer with us. From famous figures who died on the very same day, to the things I wish would die, like buffets. All that and much more. Listen to Mobituaries with Mo Rocca wherever you get your podcasts.
This episode is brought to you by Tic Tac. Minty, refreshing, classic. And it's not just the Tic Tac mints. It's the new track by Kanice with beats that'll leave you feeling as refreshed as a Tic Tac and a vibe that'll take you on a ride through 100 layers of flavor. Does it get any fresher than this?
Tic Tac, enjoy the bright side. That 100-layer joyride. Pop one, let's paint the town. Freshman flavors all around. Take a ride on a Tic Tac.
Pick up a pack of Tic Tac mints today.
Discover the power of learning with Chegg. Their homework help is backed by qualified experts who provide you with reliable and easy-to-understand explanations that take you from studying to learning. Get study help designed with your learning journey in mind with millions of solutions supported by trusted experts. Stay on track and in control, no matter where you are in the semester, with Chegg. Learn more at Chegg.com. That's Chegg.com.
Welcome to the Age of Jeremy. I'm the leader when it comes to advice with business content, creation, software, taxes, investment, education, and all the hobbies that I enjoy, which I share with you on this podcast. So make sure to subscribe to this podcast. Also, I started a YouTube, and you guessed it, it is called Age of Jeremy. The shorts come out a few times a week, not my shorts, but the YouTube shorts. And I do some longer videos, like 8 to 15 minutes every other Thursday. Supposedly around 5 p.m. those come out. These last couple of Thursdays, I've been doing live videos just because I've been working on my streaming and doing better streaming. And so that's why I have done those. And I'll hopefully be recording a YouTube video this week. I'm going to test some stuff out using my phone, and then I'll share with you my findings if I remember to do so. I also post every day as much as possible on TikTok at Age of Jeremy. I post on Instagram at Age of Jeremy. And I post at Twitter at Age of Jeremy Q. If you want to reach out to me, you can hit me up on Snapchat at Age of Jeremy. I also have a Twitch channel, and you guessed it again, it's called Age of Jeremy. I do not currently have a schedule for this, but I will eventually. You can be notified when I am live on Twitch by subscribing to my Twitter, which again is at Age of Jeremy Q. If you don't know, I own a company called 3T Warrior Academy with my business partner, Coach JV, or CJV. You can follow him on TikTok at CoachJV_. The links to our free Discord for 3T Warrior Academy is in the episode description. I also own a company called Age of Radio. We are a media company that offers free podcast hosting and the ability to join our podcast network absolutely free. Check out the website at ageofradio.org. We also offer some editing services, and we'll be going harder into equipment sales into this next coming year. We are all about building a community at Age of Radio. So make sure that you follow us at our Facebook group, Addicted to Podcasting, and you can get our Discord link from there to join our free Discord. I'm also kind of opening up myself up to bookkeeping and tax services to a small amount of people. So if you're interested in that, please email me at jeremy.quintanilla@qfinancialllc.com. Again, that email is in the episode description. You can see the pricing at qfinancialllc.com. All right, I think that's enough. Let's get this show on the road. My name is Jeremy Quintanilla. You are listening to Age of Jeremy. I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm the co-founder of Age of Radio and 3T Fitness, and, well, other businesses that I am working on. This podcast is about everything that I learn and the trials and tribulations it took to learn them. I hope you enjoy. I hope you are all having a fantastic day. Let me bring you up to some speed on some stuff that's happening in my tax career life. It has not been moving at all because the last 2 weeks have been fucking crazy. Crazy. So last week, I think I worked 12 hours every day, but I worked straight 12 to 15 hours almost every day last week, trying to get ready for our reaching out to some people to partner with us for a project that we're working on. Which you will hear more about that as I move forward with that. And along with that, I didn't get hardly any sleep last week. I think I caught myself up on sleep this last week, which reminds me, I'm sorry, not this last week, over the weekend. I've been sleeping so much on the weekends because I've been not sleeping during the week, and I need to fix that. And the way that you fix that is by being disciplined and saying no to certain things and having your life in order. But hold on, I want to chug some of this water. Because Sunday I woke up, I was supposed to meet my cousin. He was supposed to call me when he was done with a job. Around like 2:30, I decided, man, I'm not feeling good. I think I'm going to go ahead and pass on hanging out with him. I didn't know if I was sick, and I didn't want to get him sick and he get his family sick. But to find out, I was like so freaking tired. Like, have you ever woken up and you're just like, your eyes are super, super heavy. Like you just feel completely exhausted, but you don't feel like sick. Like you're just exhausted from probably not sleeping and overworking. I'm assuming it was some type of like, I don't know, overworking that causes. So we have these things called liquid IVs, and it's like these electrolytes and all these minerals and stuff that you can put in water. I slammed one of those bad boys, and I went and bought a gallon of water, and I just drank as much water as I could yesterday. And I must have been super fucking dehydrated because I woke up today and I have not felt this good in the last couple of weeks. And so today I'm trying to get this gallon of water in. That's why I stopped to chug some water. So you should be drinking water. I heard that, not to get completely off topic, but I heard that you should be drinking, or bodybuilders, not that I'm a bodybuilder. I do lift weights and exercise, but then I eat whatever I want. But with that being said, bodybuilders should be drinking like 2/3 of their body weight in ounces, which comes out to me like a gallon and a quarter or a gallon and a half of water. And so I've been drinking just like nonstop water all day, yesterday and today. And I've just been feeling so much better. Also probably have a vitamin. Well, I know that I have a vitamin D deficiency. So I've been just knocking out the vitamin D. And so the reason why I'm bringing that up is just so you guys know, but because I wasn't able to get, like, I'm 3 fucking chapters behind in my freaking tax studying, which is super important to me because I know that it's going to play a big part in my life. And let me explain why I think that it's a big part in my life. It's because eventually Age of Radio will be big enough that I won't want to do that on a daily basis, right? Like I want to turn it into a media company. Someone can run the media company, they can manage it for me, kind of like some of the big people that own, CNN and so forth, right? Forgot that guy's name. But like, or the person that started CNN. So my point is that what I would like to do is have like a nice small accounting practice, help wealthy families or help poor family, help any family, I guess, with their financial planning and their taxes and accounting, and have a nice big accounting firm, that I could, run and manage from CEO level. And then as I get older, just kind of do my own small practice, have someone else run that, have a few clients that I work with, and then, teach math or teach computer programming or literature or something along those lines, right? That's what I plan. And I'm trying to organize that plan a lot more and kind of focus on that plan so that I can do those things. And then if you've all met me at some point, I don't want to be the CEO for this company, but I would like to start a company that focuses on space exploration and traveling and water extraction from asteroids and the moon and outposts and asteroid defense systems. But again, those things I don't have to be running. I just want to oversee them, be on the board, and move to more of a governance or board role, as that's what I would like to do, and that's what I enjoy doing the most. And so I'm trying to place that into my trajectory now that I'm more stable in what's going on with 3-2 Warrior Academy, trying to get Age of Radio to be more stable, continuing to grow it. And that's the stuff that I enjoy doing. But the problem is that I can't stop fucking saying yes to everything. And so now I have so much shit going on that I can't get any of it done or get to where I need to get to. So my plan is to get this stuff organized, get a lot of this growing, get myself an assistant bookkeeper and a secretary assistant, and get an office on this side of town and do all this other stuff. Now, that being said, you have to figure out how to say no. No has to be one of the most important words in your vocabulary, because you can't always be working. right? And not even to the point that I want to just goof off and watch TV, which I'm not going to lie, I enjoy watching some television. I like watching anime. I like watching, Law and Order. I like watching Frasier. But for the most part, and those aren't even new things, but for the most part, I just like reading. I like studying other things. I like learning, developing myself, studying martial arts, working out, probably one of these days focus on not eating so much shit so I can actually lose some weight. And so to do that, you have to realize that no has to be in your vocabulary. You have to stay in alignment with who you are, what I like to call your aura, and you have to be able to tell people no, or you have to be honest and open with them about when you can actually get something done or if it's something that you can even do. And that is one of the biggest failures that I have had inside of my career. And CJV is going to talk about this week on one of the podcasts. I forgot which it was, because he was a yes man too, right? And I'm a yes man as well to some extent. Yeah, no, I'm a yes man too. I'm trying to get better at it though now, because if you're not, here's the reason why. The reason why saying no is so important is because it allows you to manage the things that you are doing in your life with the time that you have. And as I've talked about it on previous podcasts or on previous TikToks or somewhere, that the work-life balance is a myth. It's about balancing your overall life by being able to say yes to things, being able to manage things, being able to time things out, being able to segment time to do specific things. And if you're constantly always saying yes to people, then you're not taking into account the things that you're already doing to know if you can even do those things. And at one point in time, I was so adamant on saying yes because I was so hell-bent on being, a billionaire or a millionaire or whatever you want to say, is that I got so hell-bent on it that I just said yes, that I wanted all of these things. But in reality, there's only a few of them that I really actually have a huge passion for. I have a huge passion for 3T Warrior Academy. I have a huge passion for Age of Radio. And because of that, those should have been the two things that I just mainly focused on rather than taking all of these things in. But the point was that I needed to grow and get multiple sources of money. And so I just said yes, even though doing the things that I would have to do inside of those businesses didn't bring me satisfaction. What brings me satisfaction is doing this, brings me satisfaction, teaching in the 3T Warrior Academy, educating people because I love teaching and I want to get better at that and get stronger at it and create really good courses for our people in the 3T Warrior Academy, right? And so, but then I said yes to everything that came along and I just realized that I shouldn't be doing that. So I have been on a personal journey getting better at saying, no, I can't do this. Yes, I can do that. And what I found out, and what you will find out, that unless someone's a complete dick, they're going to be okay with it because they understand that people have limited time. And whenever you put your time into one thing, it's going to take your time away from something else. And so that's why it's important to know where you want to spend your time so that you can be actively and efficiently moving yourself towards the things that you want to be moving yourself towards. And so that's one. And the other thing too is I do say that I have a passion for, I would really like to get into leverage more harder into leveraged buyouts, but that's a slow process. And again, for the other business that I have, it's not that I don't like them. It's just that I was not aware that I would have to put so much energy and time into those businesses and that people wouldn't be able to do the things that I could do, because I don't think that what I can do is anything special, but I'm starting to find out that not a lot of people know how to do the things that I do, which makes sense because I spent a lot of time doing, educating myself and learning how to do these operational and managerial things. And so people need help with that. And that's something that I'm learning, which is another reason why it's easier for me to say no now, because I feel like I'm going to have to do so much fucking shit inside of all of these businesses. And the point is to move myself to a governance level and not from a worker level. And that's where you should be at in your entrepreneurial journey. And to get there, you need to be able to say no. So what is a tip on actually saying no? Well, that's what I've been kind of thinking about this morning while I was figuring out how to, or what I wanted to talk about. And I have no clue any tips that would get you to be better at saying no, other than saying no, but having an understanding of what your workload is. And I feel that the only way to have an understanding of your workload is by being efficient with your time management. what I'm also starting to find out is that separates me is the ability for me to task and organize the things that I am working on and to stay focused. And I talk about these all the time, but I have a physical planner, I use a Microsoft planner and Asana, and I use Outlook. And I use all of three of these things diligently to plan not only my personal life, but also plan my business life, right? And so the only time that those kind of slide is when I'm super tired, which is why I was like so adamant on getting back on track this week and trying to get more sleep and drink more water and take care of myself in that capacity. Because once you let some of these time management things slide as you build efficiency, then they just continue to slide. So you have to get them back on track to know that, like, okay, at 10 o'clock today, I was supposed to meet with Johnny to go over a non-disclosure agreement. And we had to move that around because of his time skill or his time, not time skills, but his calendar. And so we moved it. So I said, okay, well then I'm going to move doing my podcast to this right now. So I don't force myself into a time or a place where it becomes rushed to do this and I'm not able to actually do it, or I don't feel like I want to do it, right? Because a lot of the times when I do this at night, I have to be quieter. I have to be more thoughtful of what's going on. I'm not as excited. I'm exhausted because it's in the evening. And if I can't get this done on Friday, like I originally want to every week, then I need to get this done on Monday so it can go out on Tuesday, and trying to get into that specific rhythm. And that takes a little bit of time. And it takes a lot of discipline to know that you're trying to move the things where you want them to be at. And when you're exhausted, right, because you're taking too much stuff on, then you can't do that. And it creates this ridiculous loop about constantly being unorganized and tired. And so I would say that to be able to say no, you have to be able to see what you're doing. And the only way to be able to see what you're doing and working on is to be able to plan it. And so I continuously tell people my favorite planning system is the Franklin Covey 7 Habits of Highly Effective People Planning. I just love the layout of it. I love the little habit 5, like, on Monday 19th today, Monday the 19th, it says habit 5, seek first to understand, then to be understood. A good parent will understand before evaluating or judging. The key to good judgment is understanding. By judging first, a person will never fully understand. And so these give me like little tidbits, and then there's like some really cool goal planning stuff, and you can keep it organized. And I've had this specific binder for like 5 years, like this leather bound binder I've had for 5 years. I keep it at focused, and then I add certain things into my, planner, and then from planner is where I take when I know what I need to do, right? Because it's all in Microsoft Planner or in Asana, and then I take it from there and then I put it into my book. Those are the things that I need to get done. So like today I need to follow up with Facebook because we're having a problem with some Facebook issues, and then I have to record my Age of Jeremy episode. And then I have to meet with Andrew. I have to pick up Ariana. I have to meet with a brand partnership deal that we're working on. And then I have to meet with Priscilla and Ruthie, which I fixed that a little bit. And then I have 2 Merlin meetings this afternoon after the Asana. I'm sorry, after the I have 1 Merlin meeting after the brand partnership, and then I have to meet with Ruthie and Priscilla. But I was able to take care of some of that stuff because of what I need done. And because of that, then I'm able to now go to the fitness center earlier, get that out of the way, come back, study, and work on, the other things that I need to work on. And because I know that that's happening, when someone says, hey, Jeremy, can you do that? I can say, no, I can't, but I might be able to do it on this day. Or if it's something that's going to be longer, right, and I'm super busy for the next 3 months or 4 months, I can say, no, unfortunately, it's not something that I can do. So the only way that you can get really good at saying no is by understanding what you have going on in the future, by having a plan. And that would be the key to being able to say no. We'll be right back.
How we learn is evolving, and so is Chegg. It's the study tool you need that's built specifically for learning. And Chegg is committed to supporting every step of your educational journey. Whether you're starting a new semester or preparing for finals, get instant access to Chegg, a study companion that fits your needs. Be a part of the future of learning with Chegg. Your future self will thank you. Learn more at Chegg.com. That's CHEGG.com.
The friendship is sharing deal.
Because I want one of your McNuggets.
And I need some of your Quarter Pounder.
There's a deal for everyone at McDonald's. Get one favorite like 10-piece chicken McNuggets, a Quarter Pounder, or a Big Mac, and get another for just $1. Price and participation may vary. Valid for item of equal or lesser value.
All right, welcome back to the Age of Jeremy. I hope you're doing fantastic still. Okay, so the first part, we talked about being able to say no. And the key to saying no is making sure that you have a plan, making sure that you are managing your day-to-day life so that you are able to learn to when you can say no and when you're not able to say no, and or when you're able to say no and when you're able to say yes. And then that way you're not always constantly saying yes, and you're being able to practice the ability of saying no. So that was the first thing that I wanted to say. But the second thing that I wanted to talk about today is I wanted to talk about reading, because I think that more people need to say yes to reading. And the reason being is that if you don't want to read, that's fine. If you can't read, that's fine. If you are dyslexic, that's fine. If you need to listen to audiobooks, that's fine. My point is that I have noticed that for me, that's why I'm sharing this. For me personally, I tend to have a much more fulfilled life when I am spending time reading, because that is something that I'm passionate about. And so I guess that even though I'm going to talk about reading, I would say make time to do the things that you are passionate about and that you enjoy doing. Because if you're not doing those things, you are not going to have a fulfilled life, in my opinion, even if you have money. Now, I am not a billionaire or a millionaire, multimillionaire by any stretch of the means. Right. I have a student debt. I have other debt. I have my house. We're looking at buying another house. I want to figure out how to get a place in Connecticut. We're trying to start businesses. I want to have a private library. I need to get a rocket to get to the moon, and so forth and so forth. And the point is that some of those things I do enjoy doing, and I'll continue to do those because I enjoy doing them if I'm not, freaking exhausted. But some of the things that I enjoy doing are playing games with my friends, which I didn't get to do last week, which then ruined my week. And then reading and spending time reading, studying, doing religious scholarly work. Those are the things that I enjoy, and I find that when I do them, I am more thoughtful. And that's the reason why I was thinking that maybe it would be beneficial for you to read as well. And I understand that some people it's difficult to read. And by that, I mean that it's literally difficult to read them because they have, say, dyslexia or they have another disability. But if you're an able-bodied person, spending time reading is a little bit different than, say, listening to something or hearing and getting the concepts. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because I came across this really good book about how to read a book. And it talks about different ways in which you analyze the reading that you're doing. There's 4 different levels of the reading. And essentially what it's getting you to do, from the basics of what I've looked at, I'm not going to, because I'm just started reading the book, is that it gets you to be more thoughtful and understanding of the information that you are reading so that you're able to retain it, you're able to understand it, and you're able to share it in an intelligent way. And that is something that I do not think that we have anymore in our society, because of the fact that we have so much information coming at us. We try to do too much stuff because we are constantly being told that what you did is not enough because of profiting, right? Because of corporations, because of capitalism. And so we never think that what we're doing is enough. And because of that, we always think that we have to be doing more. If we look at all of the things on YouTube, like how to read, how to speed read, how to read a book in a day, how to read 10 books a week, or how to read 1 book a day, or how to, Headway is a great product and it's very beneficial. But you get a bunch of information. Did you really understand that information in a way that you can regurgitate that information in a way that can teach it to somebody else in a way where you fully understand it? And that is where my specific problem is. And that's why I encourage people to read more. Now, whether they read a physical book or they read an electronic book is irrelevant to me. The point is that sitting down in a way where you're taking time to read so that you remember it and so that you understand it and so that you can share it with individuals, right? So like with what I have read and how to read a book, which I haven't I've taken some notes on. And my understanding of it is that there are times to read fast, there's times to read slow, and they express that in a way in these different levels of reading. So there's one level of reading where it is just basic reading, which is what we learn in grammar school, or, regular, just basic elementary reading. And then there's the reading where we need to skim over the information, get the information that we need. Then there's the analytical reading where we're actually deep diving the information so that we can understand it. And then there's another type of reading that I forgot the actual name of it off the top of my head, but it's where you can read through a book quickly to get the information that you need to from multiple books to then create a new piece of content about the subject matter that you are reading on. And it was just fascinating just in the first 20 or 30 pages. And I'm super excited to read more about this because I feel that this is something that we are really, really lacking. Because a lot of the times when we read, it's to just check off a box to say that I read a book, or I read 100 books this year, or I read a book a week. But what did you actually gain from reading it, and how did it propel you forward? And that's why I want people to start thinking about how to being thoughtful about what they're reading, taking notes on it, which I started to do. And I'll tell you a tip here in a moment of some of the ways that I've made it easier to take notes on books. And so because of that, we're not thoughtfully thinking about what we read, understanding our thoughts, so that then we can then reshare it with what we are trying to do. So what I started to do was after I read something, I sit and I think about it for a while. What I should be doing is sitting, thinking about it and writing about it. But for now, I've just been sitting and thinking about it. And then one thing that Bill Gates always says when he reads is to always read with a pencil. And so that's something that I think that I'm going to start doing so I can notate stuff and, make marks and what have you. The other thing that has really, I started doing this weekend while I was reading was in OneNote that has a dictation feature where you can turn on the microphone and then you could dictate what you want to have on the note. And so when I come across something that I really enjoy in the book, I'll dictate that quote and the page and what book it was in and so forth, so that I have all those notes nice in my OneNote system. And from there, then I'll be able to go back and look at it and see what I've learned and be able to express those things in an intelligent way. And I feel that again is one of the things that we have lost in our society because we are so focused on moving so quickly. So I would recommend to slow down, or at least I'm letting you know what works, what I'm doing, because I like it. Like I've been slowing down. I've been reading more thoughtfully. I've been reading more vigorously, and I'm trying to read more thoughtful. And because of that, I have been saying yes to reading a lot more than spending time doing something else. And the way that I'm able to say yes to reading is because I have that time scheduled off in my planner, so that then when someone says, "Can you do this?" I can say, "No, I can't do that because right now I am reading." All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in today. Remember, be thankful, grateful, and kind, and we will talk with you next time. Bye. Thank you for listening to The Age of Jeremy. Make sure to subscribe on your favorite podcatcher. If you can do me a favor, please rate this podcast if your podcatcher allows you to. Talk to you soon.
Okay, everybody, it's Michael E. Cullen II.
And I'm Sesame and Carta from the All Too Real 2 podcast. We're passionate about movies, TV, and pretty much all things pop culture.
Dive into the chaos of failed sitcoms, direct-to-video sequels, and the quirky realms of cinema and TV.
Join us every Thursday for your dose of All Too Real 2 entertainment.
We'll guide you through debates like whether Howard the Duck qualifies as a superhero.
Ponder if Larry the Cable Guy could be the new Rock or Schwarzenegger.
Discover if some shows and movies should have stayed in the cutting room.
Ever heard of a sitcom featuring that dictator with the funny mustache? Well, we watched it.
We're dedicated to unraveling the peculiarities of pop culture, sometimes with awesome guests.
So, if you're into the eccentric world of pop culture,
listen and subscribe to All Too Real 2.
Available wherever you find podcasts
and on Age of Radio.